Welcome to the deep dive. We take your source material articles, research, notes, and, well, we try to pull out the most interesting bits of knowledge pretty quickly.
That's the goal.
Today, we're doing a deep dive into Bodhisastra University, BOU. It's a really interesting case study because it kind of flips the script on where we think higher education actually happens.
Yeah, it challenges some basic assumptions.
So let's start with the basics. Its official name. The source material gives us Bodhisastra University, Florida, United States of America.
Right. Very formal. Florida, USA.
And here's the first, slightly surprising thing right off the bat. It's explicitly called an independent, nonprofit educational organization registered in the state of Florida, USA.
Okay, so legally it's American, based in Florida.
Exactly. Legally rooted there. But its mission, as we'll see, seems to point somewhere else entirely.
And that's really fascinating. You have this solid legal footing in the U.S., but the whole concept, the model they talk about, is all about global reach.
How do they describe that model?
Well, the core idea, according to the sources, is a self-learning system under the mentorship of leading professors from many countries.
Many countries. Okay.
So, they're not just thinking outside the traditional campus walls. They seem to be building a global network that exists almost entirely outside those walls.
Right. And their mission statement, does that reinforce this global idea?
Absolutely. It's key to understanding why they operate the way they do. It says, connecting learning spaces everywhere, together with educational networks toward the prosperity of communities and society.
Connecting learning spaces everywhere.
Yeah, so that tells you straight away, doesn't it? The focus isn't on, say, building a big campus in Florida. It's about impact, a decentralized impact, maybe in communities that they feel need it most.
So that's the tension, right? This geographic split. We've got the sources confirming U.S. office locations, one in Boca Raton, Florida, another in Sun Valley, California.
Right, the admin addresses.
But those seem to mainly be for the legal stuff, the backbone, when you actually track what they do on the ground, while the real action seems to be thousands of miles away. Okay, so given that tension, U.S. legal entity, global mission, what are they actually teaching? What's the curriculum this network is supposed to deliver? Let's unpack the academic side first.
Jessica. Yeah, the curriculum seems very focused, very specific. It isn't like a huge university offering everything. It's targeted.
What are the programs?
The source material lists a high-level Doctor of Philosophy program in social sciences.
Okay, PhD level.
And then at the bachelor's level, there are two distinct Bachelor of Philosophy programs. One is specifically in Buddhism.
Interesting.
And the other is a Bachelor of Philosophy in Social Sciences.
So philosophy and social sciences are the core, but with a really strong link to Buddhist studies.
Exactly. Which makes sense, actually, if you think about where their activities seem to be concentrated, as we'll get into.
Right. That focus on philosophy and Buddhism probably resonates strongly in Southeast Asia and India, which seems to be their main operational zone.
Precisely. There's a clear synergy there.
But if it's a self-learning system, how does that work in practice? How do they maintain academic standards? Is it just, online modules you do on your own time?
Well, that's where the structure they've outlined becomes really important. Self-learning here doesn't seem to mean totally unsupervised.
Okay.
It sounds more like guided mentorship combined with self-paced work, but governed by formal rules.
Right.
And we see evidence of this structure in the documents they provide.
Like what kind of document?
The source material lists specific guidelines. Things like guidelines for studying and learning, and importantly, guidelines for evaluating the presentation of dissertation.
So they have clear evaluation criteria for PhDs.
Yes, and interestingly, most of these documents mentioned are dated around March 2020.
March 2020. Huh. That date jumps out, obviously. Start of the global pandemic, lockdowns. Does the source material say if this formalized self-learning system was, a response to the pandemic, or was this decentralized model always the plan?
That's a great question. The sources don't explicitly state the why behind the timing, but March 2020 is, well, it's very suggestive, isn't it?
It certainly is.
But regardless of whether it was reactive or planned, the structure they put in place seems quite developed. Beyond just the guidelines, they specify particular research formats.
Such as?
Things like a PhD writing format and then these more technical sounding formats, model of the realized type of research and methodology of realized type of research.
Hold on, realized type of research, that sounds very specific. What does that actually mean for a student doing a PhD with them?
Yeah, it's not standard university jargon everywhere. From context, realized type of research usually points towards something applied, practical, often community-focused.
Ah, okay.
So instead of purely theoretical work, it suggests the research needs to connect directly to real-world issues, maybe linking back to that mission of prosperity of communities and society.
Got it. So it reinforces that practical community impact angle.
Exactly.
So that detail is important for you, the listener, because it shows this isn't just some loose online course. It seems to be a structured, applied PhD program, maybe focused on specific regional issues, but managed under this framework legally based in Florida.
Right. We've mapped out the curriculum and how the structured self-learning.
But the real story, the kind of punchline in the source material, is where all this activity actually takes place, the sheer pace and global spread.
Exactly. We know the theory, the structure, but an institution's identity, especially a global one, isn't just in its syllabus, it's in its itinerary, you could say.
So, registered in Florida, but where are they really operating? Let's look at the timeline of BOU activities provided. It shows this broad, recent, and very concentrated presence in Asia, mostly in 2023 and moving into 2024.
Okay, let's trace it.
May 1st, 2023. The source says the first Bodhisastra University USA 2023 assembly meeting was held, not in Florida, but in Thailand.
Thailand. Okay, that's significant. An assembly meeting sounds like a core planning or governance event. Holding it there suggests Thailand might be, maybe, the operational hub.
Could be. And just a few weeks later, May 27th, 2023, they were awarding degrees in Singapore.
Wow, okay. Thailand meeting, Singapore degrees, all within May 2023. They move fast.
They do. Then, September 28th, 2023, they signed a cooperation agreement with MCU Myanmar Creation University.
Myanmar, what kind of agreement?
A big one, it seems. A formal dual degree agreement. The idea is to produce joint graduates who get 2 degrees, one from BOU and one from MCU Myanmar.
Ah, a dual degree program. That's a serious commitment, embedding themselves in the local system there.
Yeah, it really signals a long-term strategy, doesn't it? You have a U.S. nonprofit setting up joint degrees pretty much exclusively overseas. Is this mainly about delivering their global mission, or is it also maybe a smart way to get regional academic credibility by partnering up?
I suspect it's probably both, right? And that's what makes it effective. It gives them immediate local standing in a region where their academic focus, philosophy, Buddhism, social science, is highly relevant. It's not just handing out a foreign certificate. It's co-creating degrees within that country's system.
Makes sense. And the map keeps expanding. Less than 2 months after Myanmar, December 8th, 2023, there's a degree awarding ceremony listed in India.
India now. Any specifics mentioned?
Yeah, the source connects this activity to Nalanda University, Bihar, India. Doesn't spell out the exact nature of the connection, but Nalanda is obviously a historically significant name in Buddhist learning.
Absolutely. Nalanda adds another layer of historical and academic context. So if we put these pieces together, what's the pattern?
The pattern seems pretty clear. U.S. registered nonprofit, self-learning model. But its main physical activities, assemblies, degree ceremonies, major partnerships are happening across Thailand, Singapore, India, and Myanmar.
Right, predominantly Southeast Asia and India.
And think about that timeline again. May 1st in Thailand, December 8th in India. That's intense activity. Imagine the logistics for what might be a relatively small nonprofit coordinating degree ceremonies in multiple countries in just over 6 months.
It really pushes back against the idea that a decentralized self-learning university is just a website and some emails. There's clearly a significant physical, high-touch element to their operations.
And it's ongoing. The source material even lists a future event. December 22, 2024, another degree awarding ceremony, this time planned for Bali, Indonesia.
Indonesia, too. So Thailand, Singapore, Myanmar, India, Indonesia, all within roughly a year and a half. That frequency and geographic spread tells you more about BOU's identity than its Florida address does.
Definitely. So let's just recap the key facts for you, the listener, especially if you're tracking these shifts in global education.
Okay.
We have BOU, legally a Florida nonprofit, academically focused on philosophy and social sciences with that strong Buddhism element, uses a structured self-learning system.
Right.
But crucially, its primary operational footprint, the actual assemblies and degree awards, are happening globally, rapid, deep engagement across Southeast Asia and India, including strategic dual degree deals.
Yeah, that's the core picture from the sources.
Which leads us to the final thought.
Yeah, it raises a really big question, doesn't it? What does a model like this, networked, self-learning, legally based in one country but operating almost entirely elsewhere, what does it tell us about the future? About how we even define higher education and its boundaries? You've got this entity, legally American, fulfilling its mission abroad, building partnerships, holding events across continents. It's really pushing that idea of connecting learning spaces everywhere.
So what does that mean, really, for a university?
Well, maybe it means the value isn't tied to the physical campus anymore, not primarily. Maybe it's in the network they build, the mission they pursue, the mentorship they facilitate. It challenges that traditional, geographically fixed model. Perhaps it's a blueprint for a different kind of mission-driven education for the 21st century, one that's truly global and fluid. What does it mean to be a university when your presence is everywhere and nowhere specific at the same time?
A provocative question indeed, something for all of us to think about.